Hello everyone, and welcome back to week 4 of VDL, where we take on MrTJP and his team, the Bundle Montreal. Very important week for us. We obviously have lost 2 games now and only have 1 win to our name, so we definitely want to be able to pick up a win here if we want to get back on track to make playoffs. So, let's get into the Bundle Montreal's team, first of all. They have a Zekrom. Second week in a row we're playing Zekrom. Very surprising, he got dropped and immediately picked up, which is very funny. We have Terra King Gambit, a Iron Bundle, a Skeledurge, a Gliscor, a Melodic, a Galarian Zapdos, an Alolan Muck, and a Cryogonal, and a Hydrapple. So very, very interesting team. Let's get into what we are bringing this week. First of all, we have our Terra Captain, Mew. First week, debut, Tourmaline has gone to the team. You can see we're holding the Heat Rock and we're Terra Ground this week, because Ground is pretty solid into his team, and it's very good into the Skeledurge, which is going to be something I definitely think is going to be very, very important, I think, this game. We have Earth Power and Flamethrower as our 2 moves. Earth Power obviously gets Stab, and Flamethrower gets boosted by our Sunny Day. We are Sunny Day this week because we are bringing both Roaring Moon, the new addition, and Flamame, which both get boosted. So we want to set up the Sun and then use our U-turn to be able to swap around and get in some of our powerful attackers like Floodmane and Roaring Moon. Next up, we have Garnet, the Roaring Moon, also making their debut, running the Choice Band. We are EV to always get a speed boost in the Sun. We have Knockoff, which it hits a lot of his team very, very hard. EQ hits things like that Alolan Muck, which is a bit tough for us to deal with, and also obviously the Zekrom if we need to go for a neutral click. Outrage is super, super free. The only after the King Gambit either terrestrializes into something no longer resisting Dragon, because this is only Dragon resist on the team. So if that thing terrestrializes, we do a lot of damage to this team with Outrageous. And U-turn allows us to swap around and get progress, which is nice. Next up we have Amethyst, which is going to be crucial this game, and that's because he only has 1 fairy resist, which is the Skeledurge, which we talked about earlier. Obviously that's also weak to Ghost. We are Choice Scarf to outspeed either a non-boost speed Iron Bundle, or just generally outspeed all his team other than that. We have Moonblast to be able to hit a lot of his team really, really hard. Obviously, the only resist one's against Skeledurge. I do think he's going to bring a lot of Mark as another check, because that's also got good speed F. Mystical Fire hits a lot of his threats. It hits the King Gambit super effectively, which is very, very important, and also reduces special attack of things like Iron Bundle, Skeledurge, and Milotic, which might be swap-ins. Energy will hit the Iron Bundle and Milotic super effectively, which is really, really nice, and also gives us a neutral hit into Gliscor, which is the reason why we didn't run Thunderbolt, even though it's good into Gyarados, just because it gives us the ability to be able to click it without the fear of an immunity on his team. Next up we have AV Blastoise. We are running Rapid Spin, Flip Turn, Earthquake, Ice Spinner. Physical Blastoise, I do think this is going to be a very, very important mon this week. It deals with the Gliscor, stopping Hazards from it, and it also can do a decent amount of damage to things like Skeledurge, Gyarados, and even EQ does a decent amount to the Muck as well. It also, I think, does over half to Hydrapple as long as it's Regenerator and not Thick Fat, which is really, really nice as well. I think that's what we EV to do. We do have some attack investment. Next up, we have our new Uber, Choice Specs Kyurem White, running Freeze Dry Draco Fusion Flare Flash Cannon. Once again, his only Dragon resist is that King Gambit, which takes a lot of damage. I do think there's a good chance he brings Terra Fairy, just because he doesn't have a Fairy type otherwise. But pre-Terra, we hit it really hard with Fusion Flares, and if it does translate into Fairy, we are running that Flash Cannon to do a lot of damage to it. I think we are EV to always outspeed a max speed Zekrom, which is nice. There was a potential for me bringing Scarf, but I think Scarf Flaming is enough. Next up we have Black Sludge Max Fizz Def Clodsire running Stealth Rock Counter Recover EQ. Last time I realized that Terravolt goes through our Unaware, which I was unaware of, so how funny. But yeah, so EQ does good damage into his team. Recovered as well. I was considering Toxic over Counter, but Toxic when you have a Gliscor is tough, and we're always swapping on that anyway, and Counter just can potentially, if it does EQ us, potentially just allow us to one-shot it back with Counter, alongside allowing us to one-shot back the Zekrom, if it's running Zen Headbutt. And we have Rocks, because Rocks are really solid into his team. The only resists are the King Gambit, that's it. So that's really, really nice. So yeah, that is the team for week 4, and I will see you lot all in the battle. Hello everyone. We are taking on MrTJP now. He has sent me his Terra. He is Terra Fairy on the not Terra Fairy on the Mew, sorry, Terra Fairy on the King Gambit. Which are ground on our Mew, but so we know he's bringing it. We did plan for Terra Fairy with a Flash Shadow on Kyurem, so that's nice to see. But yeah, I am recording. Let's see what he brings. It's going to be very interesting, I think. We see Bundle, Zekrom, to expect that. Gambit, Dirge, Cryogonal is the one in the last slot. I was certain it'd be like Gyarados or Gliscor. Interesting. Very, very interesting. So it's Terra Fairy King Gambit. What do we lead? What did he not bring? He did not bring his Gliscor, Hydrapple, Gyarados. Quite a few things, actually. He brings us 2 faster mons. I mean, his only mon faster than my Roaring Moon is that I kind of want to just lead Roaring Moon and scare him, because U-turn is pretty solid knockoff as well. The other option is just to lead the Kyurem or lead the Clodsire. Like, where is his go-to lead? He doesn't have a hazard setter, really. I don't mind the straight Kyurem lead and just dropping a Draco immediately. How much do we deal to Cryogonal? Not enough to KO if he's max HP, but we are going to lead it. Clodsire, he does not do too much if he's not invested with Cryogonal into me. I'm just going to pull up Kyurem White and see what he leads. If it's King Gambit, that's a little bit annoying. Iron Ghost, that's Bundle, right? Are we going to see Boost Energy? We're not. Specs Bundle does half with an Ice Beam, doesn't do too much otherwise. Do we just immediately drop a Draco? There's not much on his team that wants to take it. So not really the Gambit. We could Fusion Flare. What's worst case scenario if we Fusion Flare? Dirge coming in. How much is King Gambit taking from my Draco? If it's offensive, it's taking over half. Fusion Flare will kill if it's offensive. I think I just Draco. It's safe and it gives the most damage into everything on his team. He's just going to U-turn. 3, 5, 6. That's 5 is that what? 45 damage from a U-turn? It's Rainbow. I don't know what that is. It's Muck. We're going to hit it. That looks AV to me, just on a whim. Muck, Alola, Special Wall. Yeah, that looks like super Assault Vest, right? We did how much exactly? We did about 50%. So he is definitely Assault Vest on this Muck, which was to be expected. There's a few things we could go here. Blastoise doesn't take too much. I don't mind just going Clodsire. Losing our Black Sludge isn't bad early, and we do kill with an EQ back if he's max HP. So we're just going to go hard Clodsire immediately. And I think we set our rocks up here. If he does just knock. We're going to see damage too. It is just a knockoff. Okay, that's fine by me. 3, 5, 4. So he did what? Just over 109 with a knockoff? Which is a roll from just 4 attack Alola Muck. Do we just want to set rocks? Does this thing like EQ? Does not. Any sort of super effective Ice Punch? Does that do more? Ice Punch would do a little bit over 25%. My EQ would kill, but I think rocks are better here. He does Ice Punch, that's fine. That is a freeze. Can we please thaw? We are going to stay frozen solid. That is really unfortunate. I'm going to recover here. On the off chance she spams Ice Punch. Can we please thaw? We are going to stay frozen solid. This is huge right here. I'm gonna go for the recover one more time just in case we live. That is a huge freeze. And into the double freeze. So we're gonna lose our Clodsire really, really early, which is really, really annoying. Do we just go into our Roaring Moon now though? Not Cure on White. Roaring Moon would kill with an Earthquake. Outrage would also do a lot. Other option is Mew. This is eating hits. Blastoise, Earthquake is a roll to kill. Floodamain, he's eating. Kyurem, we don't kill. It has to be Roaring Moon in my opinion. Ice Punch is doing a little bit over half. That's so bad for Zekrom though that we are taking that much damage. I mean, EQ is not free because of the fact that he is in here. Do we click it? I almost want a U-turn on this. He could just knock off. What do I go into if he clicks knock off? Not a lot of great options for knock off. We'd have to lose our Blastoise. This is an important check for him though, so I do think... Yeah, I mean, that freeze is terrible. Luck early game. He's Shadow Sneak, interesting. Does 20? I'm confused. He's trying to get a Poison Touch? We're just going to get off a huge U-turn. He's going to see with Bandit as well. We do not want to get Shadow Sneaked here. What's like worst case scenario? How much should we do with a U-turn on my Mew? Because he's really low. Mew does 16% with a U-turn. I think he brought Hazards. So I don't think my Blastoise is as important. We are just gonna Rapid Spin kill this, I believe. How much percent is he at? Because we do 10.8 to 13. Not quite enough. So I'm just gonna flip turn on him. And we're gonna pick up that KO. Muck is down. We bait the Terra Fairy if he goes into King Gambit. And if he Terra Fairies, how much do we do? We kill if he's no investment. Obviously Iron Head does a huge chunk back to us. I assume Terra Blast kills. Terra Blast would not kill. It would do the same as Iron Head. Part of me wants to get my Mew set up. I think I am going to go Mew here. This is a really tough game because we lost Clodsire. That was one of our huge defensive pieces that just got frozen. I mean, like, we would have Rocks up. We'd be able to recover pretty freely in front of the Mark. KO with an Earthquake in the following turn. Neil, to me, definitely sounds like King Gambit. This thing wants its Terra up, which is fine. He is Supreme Overlord, so good to know. And we are terrestrializing immediately. How much is this doing to me on my Mew? To ground. Kowtow, if he's max attack, he's Supreme Overlord. One ally fainted. Kowtow has a roll to do half. I'm gonna just Sunny Day, I think, if I get Sun up. Flamethrower with Sun up. Does a decent chunk. We're just gonna Sunny Day here. Fusion Flare does kill in the sun. He also terastallizes. We do confirm he's slower, so he's not like a Scarf or anything. But yeah, this is going to be a tough round here. This is going to be a tough round to get through now without Clodzer to check this. We're just going to set the sun up. As he goes straight for the sword stance. We could be Encore, but we're not. +2 is tough for us to deal with. Might honestly just beat us at this point. Sucker Punch kills my Flutter. It will not kill my Roaring Moon, but we do nowhere near enough to KO. Won't kill you. Will kill Kieran White. +2 does not kill Kieran White. Probably kills my Mew though. Going for the drop here could be the play. I'm just going to Flamethrower. Looking for the burn. That has some Spadef, and we do get a huge burn, which is really, really fortunate. He's just going to Terror Blast here. Do how much? Down to 228. Terror Blast, 228, which is what? 175 damage, which is a roll from Max Attack Adamant. If he goes +4, does he KO my Kieran? No. I could go for Earth Powers with Mew though now. Does he look like he has some Spadef to him? Not really. We could just Flamethrower again. I do think we Flamethrower again. He's going to Sucker, which is not going to KO. Now this is a tough call to make. I kind of want to go Blastoise. But I think I am just going to Flamethrower as a safer play. He is going to Sucker Punch. So we do get the read wrong, that's fine. Maybe keeping around Mew is the better play, but getting rid of this King Gambit is huge because it allows us to just start dealing so much damage. Now he's only +2. Sucker Punch +2. Sucker Punch does nothing to my Blastoise, but we're probably slower. We are if he's max speed. Kieran White's taking nothing. We can just click Freeze Dry, I assume, yeah. Freeze Dry might not be the right play. I don't think we unleash Kieran White. Or do we go Moon? Moon takes nothing. And U-turn doesn't do too much. We can click Knockoff here. How much turns of speed do we have? 4 turns. There is no knockoff resist on this team, so we're clicking it. He managed to go for Sucker Punch. He does. Good damage. We're going to KO this. So Gambit is dead. Both our Terra Caps are dead. We still have Scarf, Flutter in the back though, which is huge. Skeledirge doesn't want to take this. He was Black Glasses, okay. Zekrom, how much is that taking? Uber's DD, Zekrom's taking 60% from a knockoff. 60 to 70. 60 is Mineral. Cryogonal will die if it's max HP. Dirge, and last one is Bundle. If that's not Scarfed, it's probably taking a lot. Specs has a roll to kill. If he Specs, he can't be Scarf. I do think this is Scarf, based on the way he brought it in. We're at 228, which is how much percent? 63, so we have a roll to live freeze dry from max special attack. Ice beam we don't live. Part of me really wants to go Blastoise. The freeze dry does a good chunk. We could also go Flutter. I think seeing if this is Scarfed is overall good, but no, we need this for Dirge. So I do think we go Blastoise here. And we scout damage. You have to play it safe. It is freeze dry. 361 to 221. 140 damage from a freeze dry. Which is a little bit more than max special attack. Probably is modest if I had to guess. Modest Scarf. Yeah, that is a roll from Modest Scarf. Which would mean he's locked in here. How much is he doing with a Modest Scarf? Freeze dry, nothing to my Flutter, so I'm just gonna flip turn here. He's gonna freeze dry again. Good play. We keep this around though. We can't be frozen in harsh sun. Flip turn's gonna do no damage, but is gonna break a potential sash. But that allows in our Flutter main to start spamming Shadow Balls. I assume this is the last turn of Harsh Sunlight. It is. Is there anything on his team that resists the Shadow Ball now? Nope. How much do we do with Shadow Ball in the sun? Sun blazing we always kill. He does withdraw into what? Hexaflakes, that's Cryogonal, right? We should do about 40% to this. That looks Spadef. This thing can't do anything to my Kyurem, right? If he makes a double swap, good play. It's Flash Cannon, good play. It does absolutely nothing to me. Doesn't get a drop either. As much as I'd love to Fusion Flare here, I think we have to click a Draco and get a kill. Or do we have to? Does Flash Cannon kill this? That's using max HP. How much did the first Flutter Main hit do? It did what? Nearly 40%. So he's not like super Spadef. Well, he's got enough Spadef. Let's just calc against max Spadef just in case. Fusion Flare kills. We're no longer in Sun, which is important to note. Flash Cannon is a roll, I presume. Yeah, it's a roll, not in my favor, so I'm going to click a Draco, I think. He's just going to sack off the Cryo, it looks like. He lives. Wow, that is crazy. He's just going to get another Flash Cannon off, which is fine. I don't need the health as badly. We're going to click it again. If this is Zekrom, crazy play, and really good play on his end. Mood Loss should always kill Zekrom. -4 specs into Zekrom to 76 to 90.3, which is crazy. So we actually stay in and click Draco, I think. If he goes Dirge, that is probably unaware. He is going to go into the Zekrom. We're going to click the Draco button, I think, again. He's going to stay in. And we're going to do a huge chunk here, which means he can never go to +2 speed. He's going to Dragon Dance. If we had missed that, that would have been terrible. We're going to Draco again. He fusion bolts. Okay, good play. Does kill. DD, Jolly. Should never outspeed us. We have Roaring Moon in the back as well, so we're just going to Shadow Ball here. Big Scarf, Fluttermane putting in work. And the last two mons are the Bundle, which we know isn't specs. Into my Flutter. Ice Beam does 2-hit KO. My Shadow Ball, if he's not invested, has a pretty solid roll to kill, especially since he's already taken chip. He's at about 90. Which means this isn't in Sun. Nope. We have a 87.5% chance to kill if he's at 90%. Hydro Pump should never kill. He Hydro Pumps and misses. That's unfortunate, but it would have never killed. It would have mattered if this doesn't get the KO. We crit, so yeah, that's unfortunate. So the roll isn't going to come into play. I'm very sorry to TJP, but I'm also the same not sorry because of the freeze on Clod's Eye, which was so huge. We're going to see Dirge, obviously can't terrestrialize. If this is full Spadef, this is taking over half. And he's not doing over half with anything else. So we should just be able to Shadow Ball through this. Okay, this is a huge win for us. And we're going to get... Is that another crit? No, it's just not Spadef. Okay, that's huge. GG's to Mr. TJP. Really great game. I believe that was either 3 or 4-0. It was a 3-0. Huge. So we're right back in the season now. GG's to Mr. TJP. It's some really great sets. I'm really glad I looked at the Draco calc at -4 because the fact that that's still doing like 80 to 90 is crazy. And really prevented him from just DD sweeping him. If I'd gone into Fluttermane, it would have been a roll. If I didn't get that roll, I lost the game. So it's a really good thing I went for that. GG's to him. I'll see you all next week for week 5 where we play 6-foot hacks, which is going to be a huge, huge game. So GG's once again to Mr. TJP, and I'll see you all then. Bye-bye.